I've been going back on X, and it's a window. It's a microcosm window into how Elon Musk exists. X is when you're in X, you feel like you're in an antisocial shithole right away. It reminds me of Fuck Company, and it kind of gives you that impression anywhere a billionaire goes will turn into an antisocial shithole. So it's got that lean to it, like you're in the wrong side of a city that is like exploitative and there's no rules. What billionaires try to do all over the world. But beyond that, the sheen of it is this seedy, low quality garbage of exploitative interpersonal hell that billionaires are driven to make. But the top layer is grandiosity. There's nothing but grandiosity and lies on X. Like every other post, if I go on the Discover tab, every other post I see will be um, like for example, the first one I'm being shown on my Discover tab on X is some like he has loads of crypto dingleberries on here. Like you can just see it, you know how it works. Like he's got an army of thousands and thousands and thousands of people he's paying welfare to glow him up and do his bidding, to be Der Stürmer. Like I said, the dumbest person in the Nazi party had a role of just lying for the regime. No other role, not making plans, just taking orders to lie and thinking of ways to manipulate people. And Elon very clearly has a massive network of low IQ psychopaths who are like, Elon's going to Mars, Doge to the moon, give us your money buying Dogecoin. Starlink is this close to making a robot that will do your laundry. Uh, oh my God, Lemonade Insurance is going to give you 50% off on the autopilot of Tesla. It's just constant scams, just constant grandiose scams. And it really gives you an insight to how Elon Musk was created. Like, he basically manipulated the emotions of capital holders, being a wealth lead himself, like constantly bamboozling them with grandiose promises, like a low quality dude trying to impress a woman. Like, I'm this, I'm that. Blah, blah, blah. And it just gives you an insight to how he exists. Like, he just exists through a series of lies, like a carny. Like, the first post, we're only 3 weeks in 2026, and we've got gray market peptides going mainstream, psychedelics in phase 3 trials, OpenAI Health, Claude for Healthcare, GLP-1s evolving beyond obesity and diabetes, gene editing sending in Singapore and China, biohacking, forget software, biotech will define this decade. Scams, just scams everywhere. It's like going on X makes your head hurt if you're not a moron, because it's just fraud, 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 grandiose fraud left and right. People with Doge icons telling you to buy crypto. People with screen names like Finance and Cap, Crypto Man, and it's just lies, just Elon glowing up his companies using the bamboozle with bullshit strategy he only has. He has no other cards. Elon has no other cards but confidently lying like a psychopath, right? And and then on top, when he leverages power from confidently lying, he exponentially grows it by hiring an army of ass lickers to amplify his lies. That's all he is. And it's so obvious for me to see through it, right? And the depressing thing is nobody sees through it, because most people determine what is true and what is false based on the number of people saying things. I realize, like, going through this has made me realize that, like, a lot of people don't bother gathering data, don't bother thinking. They determine true and false based on number of voices. That's it. So for a confident carny like Elon Musk, he starts his confident carny routine to like dance before Peter Thiel, dance before capital holders, then he gets a little seed money. And then once he has a little success, he the way he's able to amplify his power is hiring more people to be assistant carnies. Like, Elon's going to the moon, Mars 2026. Oh, self-driving machinery is 5 years away, and you won't have to pay any insurance. And then just becomes this unstoppable mass of a network of low IQ men screaming confident shit, and The sad thing is, a lot of humanity doesn't try to think or gather data. They just say, "Oh, a lot of people are saying this, so it's true. Elon must be a genius. Elon must have done all this stuff because he said he did. Elon must be a rare once in a million brilliant talent. Then we must be going to Mars soon. SpaceX must be like better than NASA and it's gonna like take us to the Mars and self-driving cars are gonna happen real soon and we are gonna live on UBI in a utopia where work is alienated and we're free to pursue our dreams like in communism. It's all gonna happen. And the sad thing is that's how most people reason. They're like, well, everyone's saying it, so it's true. And if people are not saying it, it's crazy. Like going through what I'm going through is like so many people. Like I don't live my life. I never have. I'm good at solving problems. I'm good at gathering data. I'm good at analyzing things. And I've never based what I think based on the number of people saying something. Now I've taken obviously into account like expert consensus, but like literally your average person, they decide what they think based on who's saying it, how many people. And that's how the billionaires are able to get the power and control of opinion they do is the average person completely abrogates their human ability to think, to gather evidence, to gather data, and come to decisions of their own accord in favor of how many people around me are saying this. That's literally depressingly how the average person makes a decision, what they think. So that's how the billionaires are able to just exponentially grow these mind virus ideas in their favor is they first stink their claws in a community and then they fill it with their low IQ male sociopathic orbiters. They're usually males, some females. And they just repeat narratives that benefit their masters. And then before you know it, the average mark who erroneously thinks the people in this community are their peer group when it's an illusion chamber now believe the narratives that the billionaires want them to. And they're doing this all over the internet. They're going into different communities, filling it with their saboteurs, their Der Stürmer writers, and they're subtly planting ideas that the average human, where they don't gather data, think, and reason, instead, they just go along with what everyone knows. And these artificial consensus in an online community they're a part of becomes their now worldview. That just makes sense. And that is how they got where they are. And so being on X for someone like me, where I don't think like this and I never did, to see how they just throw at the wall constant lies, constant grandiosity, and then they rely on his huge network of criminal assistants to amplify that message. I think to myself, how do people stand it? Honestly, X is a microcosm of the future of America. In reality, it's shit. In reality, there's nothing but exploitation and scams and antisocial abuse. But the top layer is we're going to the moon, we're going to Mars, we're going to space. You're going to be so wealthy, you won't know what to do with your money. And then you like look at what's really going on. It's like child rape, Nazism, ads for sex toys. You can't scroll 5 minutes without an ad. You try to do anything. It's like, hello, I notice you have not paid Elon $8. Can you pay him $8? I'm like, fuck no, get fucked. And that's really what the website is. Like, uh, scams, child rape AI, Nazis, this weird antisocial degeneracy, but then you would never know it looking at the top layer of Elon, like, oh, in 5 years, I'm gonna go to Mars. We're gonna have colonies on Mars. You won't have to work. You won't have, don't worry, we're not gonna mass murder you or anything. We're gonna make a utopia where machines do everything and you'll live like a god. A god, I say. My car self-drive, and then I got lemonade insurance in Arizona, which I own Arizona because it's a broke red state. So I have a lot of ass lickers there. And, Arizona, it's broke red state. It doesn't even have Las Vegas. It's just a broke red state. So I own it. I've got a lot of ass lickers there. I've moved them to New Jersey. A lot of the people I sent to rape people are from Arizona. Anyway, in Lemonade in Arizona, you don't have to pay insurance on a Tesla. That's going to be the future. And then it's just like you look around, they're like, Doge to the moon, Elon's gonna make the world great. And then you look at the one thing he has control of, which is X. It's like, wow, this is a shithole, bro. It's a microcosm of America's future X. And it's very depressing because I think about the number of people on X who are listening to the top layers of lies and scams in his antisocial male army, like from broke ass red states like Arizona. He has a lot of slaves there. Um, Texas, the red states, the broke places where like they'll sell their souls for a dime. Alabama moved a lot of these motherfuckers up here to be criminals. Uh, the top layer is so incongruent with what the one thing you can see he has control of, which is how X is. And it's a degenerate shithole. And despite that should lead to gathering data and concluding Elon Musk is a carny liar, they literally just fall for these words of grandiosity. And this is how this monster was made, by having no skill but lying. Literally, the Wizard and the Wizard of Oz was based on him. Until he gathers enough support and capital control to control the world. He's Stalin. Like, in this time of the fall of the American Empire, it's useful to compare different personalities in the spotlight and who they would be in the past during the World War II era. And I've decided Elon Musk is Stalin. If you look at the history of the rise of Stalin, so, you had the Leninist Marxist movement, and there were people who believed in communism. There were people who believed in this. But who was Stalin? Stalin was a bombastic personality, good at manipulating and lying and strongmanning his way to power. He was an ignorant motherfucker. He didn't know shit, but he knew how to prop himself up. He knew how to say, like, I'm the most commie of the commies. I'm the leader. I know all this shit. And he basically used emotional manipulation to strongman his way to leader of the Communist Party, the Marxist Leninist Party, literally supplanting Lenin, who didn't have those skills. And then he went on to make a hell world. This is why the USSR was so garbage, because he was just this strongman thug, good at lying and manipulating, to make a hell world where everything benefits him and he just controlled the people with lies and manipulation. Elon is Stalin. I don't care if he says he's a capitalist genius innovator, just like Stalin said the lies he said. In terms of personality, the kind of person he is, he's Stalin. Whereas I pose someone like JD Vance more like Mussolini. Mussolini was just a worm who got to be the leader of the Italian fascist party by just constantly lying. One minute he's Catholic, the next minute he's an atheist. Same thing JD Vance did. I'm an atheist and I hate white trash. Stalin was saying that in the beginning, and then he realized, like, I could use the Catholics for more power. He started pretending to be a Catholic. And you just constantly flip flop, say anything, feeling nothing to get power. And his undoing was the Catholics, because they saw what he was. And when he started pivoting toward, I'm in favor of the Holocaust with Hitler, the Catholics were like, we gotta handle this bitch. We saw what he did to us. He tried to get rid of us until he realized he couldn't, because there's too many Italian Catholics. And that's how he went out. The nature of his flip flopping and lies. Anyway, yeah, Elon Musk is Stalin. For sure, he's Stalin. If you look at the history of Stalin, it's the same. Like, do anything for power, say anything for power. Strong man, muscle your way through personality, in control of stupid, impressionable people. Substance replacing, grandiose, bombastic personality bullshit. He's Stalin, bro. And he's as dangerous as Stalin. People think Trump's not even worth analyzing. Trump is literally one of a million Illuminati narcissists. He don't do anything but stand there and go, they gave me an award. It's the greatest award. Like, he don't have plans. He's just an Illuminati narcissist that was so dirty, they ordered him to be the face of all this. But in terms of like the real dangerous power players, you have people like JD Vance and Elon, and they're Mussolini and Stalin, respectively. Yeah, it's bad for the world, it's bad for humanity. And I think about how X is a microcosm of the world the billionaires are going to make, and you still believe them. You're still being fooled by this shit that he's a genius, that he's going to take you to Mars, that you're going to live in luxury when they replace your job. And he can't even make his website good. It's just scams on top of antisocial degeneracy. You can't possibly say X is better than Twitter. As shit as Twitter was, it's so much worse. Worse. Like it's a less objectively less enjoyable experience. You can't scroll 5 minutes without seeing a sex toy or drug ad, drug as in illegal drugs, um, without constantly being pestered to give them money. And there's no content. Like at least for all Twitter's flaws, they had a thriving med Twitter community. There was actual, sometimes real substance in addition to the trolling. It's just nothing but it looks like fuck company. It just looks like an antisocial sewer where you're constantly being pestered to give them money. You can see he can't even make Twitter better. So why do you want to give him control of the world? Do you want, like, you know what's going to happen, right? Again, because he's Stalin, your entire cities will break down. Your entire infrastructure will break down. It'll be shit. It'll be garbage. It'll be posters of Elon. Posters of Elon everywhere. We're going to Mars. That's the future you're going to get. Just like in USSR, everything's garbage, but there's posters of Stalin and Lenin and how great it is. That's your future. That's the future you motherfuckers are buying. And it's so fucking depressing. I can't fucking take it.